It's a Jarvis. When we think of rich YouTubers who've taken it too far, we all think of the same person, right? No, not Logan Paul or his brother Jake. Today, we're talking about a different YouTube maverick by the name of Jarvis Johnson.
This is Jarvis Johnson.
Don't forget his name.
We all know Jarvis from his breakout role as the evil STEM teacher in High School Musical, the series, but did you know he's been awful for way longer than that?
Wasn't real.
Is anything real?
Ah, Mr. YouTube, what are you doing here?
I didn't mean to startle you, but it's time to make a video.
I thought you said I could leave.
And I thought a top 10 list for YouTube Rewind was a good idea.
Ugh, yeah.
I imagine right now you're feeling a bit like Alice, tumbling down the rabbit hole.
Huh? No, I just really have to go?
This is a simulation, Jarvis. You can go wherever you want.
Oh, okay.
Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know, you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life. Yo, are you peeing right now? What the fuck?
What? It's a simulation, right?
Jesus, no, I was joking. It's down the hall to the left. I should really put up a sign. Hello, and welcome back to The Internet Was a Mistake. I'm exhausted. Today I want to talk about something that has plagued me for as long as I can remember, or at least a year or so. Why are there so many top 10 channels? And why have none of them gone away? Honestly, I don't know if top 10 is the right term. A lot of them call themselves facts channels, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Like Factsverse, Be Amazed, other ones also. Whatever they are, they're like the YouTube equivalent of tabloids. They'll talk about trending topics or celebrity gossip, but also how to make the best tinfoil hat so that the government can't get into your thoughts. Wake up, sheeple. I talk a lot about new, fresh, and frankly, adorable little baby content farms that spring to life and gain millions of subscribers over only a couple of months. But today, we're talking about what happens when content farms reach middle age, when the strategies you use to abuse the algorithm have fallen ineffective, but you still need to make awful content as quickly as possible because, I mean, who's gonna stop you? Me? I don't exist. Most of these channels are exactly the same because, I mean, just look at them. But I've chosen to pick on TheRichest today because it's the best example I could find of nothing content that is technically there. TheRichest describes themselves as a channel made to watch videos of unbelievable but amazing facts about the most interesting people on Earth. I can only assume they're talking about rich people, because what else could they mean? Whether you want to learn about the lifestyle of famous celebrities, how they spend their millions, the most expensive things in the world, secret military technology, money topics, and even some of the strangest discoveries, we've got you covered. They really don't know how to order a list for dramatic effect. This dinner tonight, it's gonna be fucking amazing. For starters, we have fresh lobster, which is ooh, chef's kiss, straight from Bikini Bottom. Then we've got some pasta, good. And don't forget about the rolls, which are baked like bread often is. And finally, to top it all off, we have tap water as a drink. Now, you might have assumed from the description, the title, the avatar, the banner, that TheRichest is about rich people. Well, kinda. Some of their videos are about rich and famous celebrities like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and well, they have a lot of videos about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, no relation. In fact, I've looked at data from their past 50 videos because I'm a little nerd boy, and I found that only 5 videos of the last 50 have anything to do with rich people, which sounds bad until you realize that it's the same number of videos that they've made about Antarctica. So it's worse. The videos on TheRichest employ an ancient technique known as clickbait. But the difference with this channel is just how completely disconnected the content of the video is from the title and thumbnail. It's almost as if the person making the titles and thumbnails hasn't seen the video, and the person making the video has no idea what the video is about, because The clickbait isn't even compelling. It's just inaccurate. 15 weird rules the NBA forces on players. What do you think this video is about? The thumbnail is a man with one shaved armpit, so that invites a lot of questions. Is that a thing? Maybe for aerodynamics, dunking? You know, can't have the wind resistance. It's like how swimmers shave. NBA players shave their armpits with their dunking arm.
Imagine you're an NBA player. You're in the middle of the game, the other team is driving towards the net. In a panic, you reach out to try to take control of the ball, but then the whistle blows because you threw a punch at the ball.
Hold on. You can't punt a basketball? That's no sport of mine.
The game starts with a jump ball. The players are tense and ready, and when that ball comes down, things get hectic.
These are just the rules of basketball.
One of the most well-known is the 10-second free throw cap.
The 15 weird rules the NBA forces on its players are the rules of the game that the players play.
As per official rules, a player can't have his foot off the court.
So the players can't play out of bounds.
Nor can a player run out of bounds.
And they can't kick the ball. Come on, NBA, let the players kick the ball. Don't be such a cop. The complete disconnect between the title of the video and the content itself is evident in most of their videos, but I have to show you this next one, which is called 11 Things Gordon Ramsay Can't Live Without, because I can't believe someone made it on purpose.
When you've got money flowing out of your ears as one of the richest and most famous celebrity chefs in the world, forking out an extra couple of bucks for guacamole on your Chipotle burrito is never going to be at the top of your list of worries.
What the hell is happening? I feel like I'm being hypnotized.
Now, who are we kidding? Our boy Gordon Ramsay probably wouldn't even touch that stuff anyway, because he's a classy eater.
So far, we're about 20 seconds into the video, and nothing has really been said yet, but we are talking about Chipotle for some reason, so that's nice.
With little angelic MasterChef Junior style Gordon on one shoulder, and demonic Hell's Kitchen style Mr. Ramsay on the other, let's cook up a storm and dive straight into the super duper insanely expensive things that this potty mouth owns.
So these are the super duper expensive things that Gordon Ramsay owns, not the things he can't live without, which is fine. But most of the things on this list are cars.
This'll be the last car we talk about, we pinky swear promise.
And like, okay, I guess Gordon Ramsay is into cars, but only one space on this list is reserved for his family, which he doesn't own, by the way, and is also surprisingly low on the list, considering his family is at number 5. And number 1, well, that is reserved for Gordon Ramsay's amazing staff that work tirelessly at his restaurants all around the world. Just kidding, it goes to his watch.
20,000 smackaroonies.
I guess if the Ramsay family wants their father's love and affection, they'll have to watch themselves.
At number 11, say hello to one of the most expensive cars in his collection, coming in at a jealousy-inducing price tag of $180,000. We say one of the most expensive because, well, he's up to his nose in everything from Ferraris to Canyoneros.
Also, they write in a lot of jokes, or at least what I assume to be jokes, because the narrator delivers them so flatly that they just come off as lies.
And supposedly even has a Flintstone mobile or two.
I don't know why they claim that Gordon Ramsay has the car from The Simpsons and the car from the Flintstones, because did a little Googling, and it turns out that those things are cartoons, so he doesn't have them.
Fun fact, Gordon Ramsay has run more marathons than probably all of us combined. And if you can't tell, just take a sneaky look at his calves.
Feels like somebody is holding a gun to the narrator's head and he just has to keep saying words or else. He's got a lot of cars, so many cars, from Ferraris to the car from The Simpsons, and he's also got Flintstone cars, which means he must run a lot. Have I mentioned he's a runner too? Please don't shoot, I have a family. They get sidetracked almost exclusively and keep having to rein themselves back in.
Anyway, back to the point at hand.
As if we want to hear any more information about the Bentley Continental.
The Bentley Continental, aesthetics-wise, is probably one of his more low-key cars.
Oh, is it?
Gordon is actually a dude of pretty simple tastes. Not like mild hot sauce on your tongue kind of tastes. But we mean that he doesn't have a massive need for all of the finer things in life.
Aren't we compiling a list of expensive shit that he owns?
He's got money to burn, no doubt, so he does splurge. But he isn't always like, hey, look what I have, I'm so rich, la-di-da.
What on earth is going on? Would anybody say that? Well, I guess it is coming directly out of Gordon's mouth, so it must be true.
The Continental is full of luxury, tech-savvy features like its own Wi-Fi network.
Anyway, back to the Continental again. We're still on number 11 and it's been 2 minutes, but don't you worry, because now it's time for number 10, which is also a car.
Vroom vroom, we're shifting gears from luxury up to all-out eye-catcher with a car that's worth more than most of our entire lives. A one-of-a-kind, hyper-speedy, mega-fancy, supercharged Ferrari F12 Berlinetta.
Berliner. Is he seeing that word for the first time? He reads the script like he doesn't know what word is coming next. Vroom vroom, we're shifting gears from luxury up to all-out eye-catcher with a car that's worth more than most of our entire lives. One-of-a-kind, mega fancy, supercharged, hyper cool, mega dope, cool as beans, Ferrari F12 Berlinetta.
My bad.
Assuming that Gordy went down to the... Wait, do you mind if we call you Gordy, Mr. Ramsay? Call us within the next 3 seconds if you have an issue with it. Okay, cool.
I promise I didn't edit this at all. The video just addresses Gordon Ramsay directly and then cuts to Family Guy because that's what they wanted to do.
Wow, what a world we live in.
So many of these videos will just cut to irrelevant clips of a movie or TV show, and I don't know why.
The F12 Berlinetta shaves almost a whole darn second off that total at a touch under 3 seconds. That's like almost as fast as it took us to finish that pint of Ben & Jerry's cookie dough ice cream last night when we discovered how many fancy cars they actually destroyed in the Fast and Furious films.
Okay, now it feels like the script is being written in real time.
We could keep rambling on about his expensive car collection.
And they will, but they've gotta talk about Gordon Ramsay's family now, just for a second, but not without first mentioning his infidelities.
Even though he's had his share of controversy and infidelity in the past, Gordon has shown that family is what matters most to him. We heard that he bribed Cupid to get back on Tana's good side. But that's just a rumor we read in a fortune cookie at Panda Express.
I've mentioned before that the jokes are flat and humorless, which they are, but have I also mentioned that they have this weird meta world building aspect to them? Like, for example, the narrator accidentally calls Gordon Ramsay Jamie Oliver, haha, it could be a joke, but the narrator doesn't address it for like a couple of minutes.
It wouldn't be a Jamie Oliver video if we didn't talk about one of his restaurants, right?
And then they blame their mistake on their non-existent stock photo intern.
Hold up. We've just received a telegram saying that we accidentally said Jamie Oliver instead of Gordon Ramsay. Again, we are officially blaming that one on our inept intern, Billy.
Also, before the video ends, the narrator has to catch a bus to go to his grandma's house.
Speaking of taking the bus, mine arrives in 2 minutes, so we need to wrap this up like ASAP, like right now, otherwise Grandma is gonna yell at me for being late again.
Why are we given this information? Who is this man? So, in closing, the 11 things that Gordon Ramsay can't live without. Have you been keeping track? They haven't. 4 expensive cars, 2 houses, 1 family, a watch, and 35 restaurants. Depending on how you count, that's either 5, 9, or 43 things. But if you add that 4 and 3 together, you get 7, and 5, 7, and 9 are an odd series. And what's the next number in that series? 11. That is how you count. In doing research for this video, I learned that TheRichest is owned by a company, Canadian company, I think, called Valnet. And I learned this by going to the website in this guy's email. And there I found out that Valnet also owns a bunch of YouTube channels that you may have heard of. TheRichest, obviously. Screen Rant, that's probably one of their biggest ones. The Taco, The Things. It's one of my favorites. It's a lot. It's a lot. Moms.com. Anyway, as I've stated many times before, these channels are all the same, except for their slightly different audiences. Which is funny to me because they'll just do like the same video formats across all of their channels, but then just shift the subject matter a little bit. The Things has 10 strict rules the cast of Stranger Things must follow, and The Binger has strict rules the cast of Stranger Things have to follow, so those are the same. Also, Screen Rant. Same video, actually, just exactly the same video. A place of cutting innovation and fierce digital content experts, Valnet is taking editorial and video publishing to the next level.
Hello, Mr. Car Salesman. I would like one fast car, please. Do you have a fast car that I can buy with my money? I have a lot of money.
Next level to me. Another thing I wanted to talk about is this channel's relationship with facts, but it's actually really hard for me to discuss because not a lot of you know this. Facts tragically died during the production of this video. yeah, they were on the set of 11 Things The Rock Secretly Enjoys, and they lost consciousness. Luckily, Gordon Ramsay was there and got into his Flintstone car to take Fax to the hospital, but unfortunately, there was nothing that he or his giant calves could yabba dabba do. So, many of you may recall that TheRichest has amazing videos, which is obvious, and mind-blowing facts, rest in peace. So you're probably wondering what my problem is. Of those last 50 videos that I mentioned earlier, 5 were about rich people, understandably, and another 5 were about Antarctica. Another 5, an additional 5, were about the FBI. FBI finally solves the cold case of D.B. Cooper. FBI finally solves the Jimmy Hoffa cold case. And FBI finally confirm existence of Bigfoot in declassified files. All of this is news to me, as it is likely news to you. But it is also news to the FBI. And I get it, because as I've said before, lying for clickbait on YouTube is a tradition as old as this rare photograph of Walt Disney's plans to kill Goofy. This is one of their actual videos. Is that arsenic? What I don't understand is why they would lie about hyper-specific stuff that is easily disproven. This video is technically from the taco, but as we've discussed, they're the same. 10 strict rules Ariana Grande must follow on tour. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm still goofy.
One of the many things we love about Ariana Grande is that she seems to play by her own rules, whether she's rocking a onesie or donning her favorite pair of cat ears. But that doesn't mean there aren't any rules this famous pop star has to follow.
I'm sure I could think of a few. Well, she's definitely got to rest her voice. She's got so many tour dates. She probably has some quirky pre-show traditions, as many touring artists do. And let's see. She's not allowed to text me back on tour. That's definitely one of her rules.
If you're wondering which side of her face Ariana Grande favors, it's unequivocally her right side. This star knows how to pose and what type of lighting brings out her features the best.
Guys, I am seeing a lot of photos of the right side of her face on Instagram. She must hate this. Somebody text Ariana. Now, I could do it because I do have her number, of course. But someone else do it. Anyway, where their relationship with facts really flies off the handle is in their videos about conspiracies and the paranormal. Did scientists confirm aliens from Antarctica? No, they didn't, because if the aliens were from Antarctica, they wouldn't be aliens. They'd be Earthlings. And that's the only problem I have with this video. Pilot confirms strange time travel over Bermuda. I know pilots have a cool job and all, but I'm pretty sure they don't have the authority to confirm time travel. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a simulation.
People have been trying to solve the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle for years. In the space between Florida, Bermuda, and the Great Antilles, more than 50 ships and 20 airplanes have gone missing.
Not to belittle it, but that's not that many, right? Like, over what time period? Oh, yeah, no, it doesn't even crack the top 10 of most dangerous places for ships.
Over the course of nearly 70 years, multiple theories have been tossed around, some going as far as to chalk it up to alien abduction.
Okay, well that escalated quickly. You could make anything scary with conspiracy music and like a thud. Some going as far as to chalk it up to my friend Jeff.
Even Christopher Columbus wrote about it in his journals.
Oh shit, Christopher Columbus wrote about this? That guy was famously right all the time. And knew exactly where he was.
Today, we'll go back through history to solve the mystery, and, most importantly, we will cover the story of the pilot who flew through it and lived to tell the tale.
Oh shit, they found somebody who flew through it and lived to tell the tale? Really impressive, considering only hundreds of planes fly through that area every day. And then we'll talk to the man who crossed the street outside my apartment and lived to tell the tale. Are you filming me?
In 1918, the biggest ship of the U.S. Navy disappeared, called the USS Cyclops.
Whoa, that's crazy. What happened to it?
Coast Guard never received a distress call, and just like that, 300 passengers vanished.
Whoa.
What's strange is that no wreckage was found. No life preservers, no debris, nothing.
Oh man, usually when stuff gets lost at the bottom of the ocean, it's really easy to find. So what happened? I am personally tempted to humor the thought of sea monsters existing.
Though it's tempting to humor the thought of sea monsters existing, we have our own theories of what really happened.
Oh.
It could have been hit by a German submarine. Because the First World War was going on at that time.
Sorry, it was during wartime? You didn't think that was relevant to mention earlier?
There is someone who can shed some light on what happens when you enter the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, is it one of these guys? They fly through the Bermuda Triangle every day.
In December of 1970,
Oh, 50 years ago? Yeah. No, that's definitely relevant.
the experienced pilot Bruce Gernon set off to fly from Andros Island to Palm Beach, Florida.
We're going to lightning strike Palm Beach, Florida.
He was joined by 2 passengers, and as they took off at 3 p.m., they had no idea what was in store for them.
They had no idea what was in store for them? I hope they knew they were taking a plane. Ah, this long car is taking flight.
As the plane gained altitude, it was met with a thunderstorm gathering over the Gulf Stream.
Oh, and there was a storm going on? Was it wartime also?
It was then that strange things started to happen. As they entered the tunnel, he recounts that strange lines started to form. Something about time was altered as well.
Oh, something about time was altered? That sounds scientific.
After they exited the tunnel, the nightmare wasn't over. They entered into a thick fog that surrounded the plane.
Was it white and fluffy and cloud-like in nature?
But something wasn't right. The plane should have been over the Gulf Stream, and yet it was miraculously close to its destination. A trip that usually takes an hour and a half took only 47 minutes.
Let me get this straight. The story is that 50 years ago, a pilot landed at his destination 30 minutes early, and the only reasonable explanation is time travel?
Bruce thought something might be off, so when they reached the ground, he checked the tank. Sure enough, there was more fuel in the tank than expected, meaning that they did somehow enter some sort of time jump.
Is this what pilots mean whenever a flight is a little early? This is your captain speaking. We've just touched down in sunny Los Angeles about 10 minutes ahead of schedule. Now, for those wondering how I accomplished such a feat, we managed to pop into a large-scale vortex formation that allowed us to time travel a little bit. Please keep your seatbelts on as we taxi to the gate. There's no evidence that this happened, by the way. It's just one guy's word, and even if he's not misremembering events from 50 years ago, time travel seems like a bit of a stretch. Even if this was absolutely true and every unverified claim was 100% real, our only evidence of time travel would be that some guy saved a few gallons of gas one time. I actually changed the title of this video since I watched it last, and now it's even more misleading. Before it was called Pilot Confirms Strange Time Travel Over Bermuda, and now it's called Bermuda Triangle Plane Caught in Time Warp Finally Lands. Finally it lands. It only took 47 minutes after takeoff 50 years ago. So in closing, they just published a new video. They publish like once a day at least. And this one is called New Evidence Finally Reveals the Real Reason the Titanic Sank. I'm curious. I mean, I think it's the iceberg, right? I saw the movie.
The Titanic catastrophe is one of the most famous and most tragic ship disasters in all of history. Until now, the story was clear. The Titanic scraped against an iceberg, which flooded the ship, causing it to sink to the bottom of the ocean.
You mean to tell me it wasn't an iceberg?
Perhaps the iceberg was not at fault at all, rather a poor build and plenty of criminal negligence.
Poor build. It sounds so funny.
Poor build.
So anyway, this video is bad, obviously. It is from this channel. You've seen the video. I assume they're eventually going to get to the real reason that the Titanic sank.
There we have it. The real reason the Titanic sank was Jarvis Johnson.
Pretty funny, actually. We have the same name.
What you're about to see is a recently uncovered video that has never been seen before.
I've finally done it. I, Jarvis Johnson, have successfully sunk the unsinkable ship. My name, which by the way is Jarvis Johnson, will live on throughout history in perpetuity, never to be forgotten or mistaken for any other Jarvis Johnsons, which is my name. Now, if you'll humor me, I'd like to tell you my master plan. Using a large-scale vortex formation, I'm going to time travel a few minutes at a time until I'm 100 years in the future. And once I'm there, I will hide in plain sight as something called a YouTube celebrity. Not sure what that means yet as of 1912, but I assure you I'll figure it out. Something, those dinosaurs got what was coming to them. No one will ever forget the magnificent feat I've accomplished, and no one will think an iceberg did it. It's not what it looks like?
Actually, Jarvis, it is. Thanks for watching 12 Ways Jarvis Johnson Has Ruined History. Subscribe to The Jarvis for more videos about the worst person in the world.
Oh, sorry, was I asleep? Just go to the fucking bathroom. I have to Febreze the Matrix. Hey everyone, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for watching this far. And also thank you to girl for sending me a message on Instagram. I have no idea if I'm saying that right. If you'd want me to butcher your name, send me a message on Instagram. And heck, if you want to keep the good times rolling, you can go ahead and watch one of my other videos. There sure are a lot of those. Anyway, I've got to get going. Just kidding. I'm trapped in this end screen and can't leave. So I hope you have a great day and enjoy your YouTube browsing / life, because I can't. Goodbye.